Welcome to a full review of another eventful season at Newcastle United. Every goal from every game is here. Manager Graham Souness speaks from the heart. Straight talking from Alan Shearer, who signed up for another year. And Major by Jean-Alain Boumsong heads up more exclusive interviews. Newcastle went right to the top draw for their big summer signing. Few players could match the pedigree and talent of Dutch international striker Patrick Kluivert, who joined from Barcelona. Sir Bobby Robson went to Spurs to bolster the right side of his defence. Republic of Ireland fullback Stephen Carr would add drive and power to the team. And the manager introduced the best in youth and experience to the midfield, with teenager James Milner joining from Leeds and England World Cup star Nicky Butt leaving Manchester United. A far bigger transfer shock was Real Madrid's decision to buy Jonathan Woodgate. With the defender's worrying injury record, the deal was too good for United to turn down, and he could always come back.
He's sorry to believe. In fact, he said, "Keep the number 6 shirt for me. I might be back, sooner at some stage." I said, "Okay, well, I might not be here then, but we'll keep the 6 shirt for you, Jonathan."
A short coach ride to Middlesbrough as the new Premiership campaign opened with a local derby. But Sir Bobby's smiling exterior masked an eve-of-season row, which was to cast a long shadow over the opening games. Kieran Dyer was relegated to the bench after refusing to play wide on the right of midfield. Patrick Kluivert was also among the substitutes as he worked towards full match fitness. New signings Carr, Butt and Milner all made their debuts, and there was a welcome recall for Robbie Elliott. Borough had also been ambitious in their summer spending. What a great way to kick off a new campaign.
In full for Bellamy, mistake by Rigger. Craig Bellamy is onside here, around Schwarzer, and had to score. And Newcastle United are off their mark for a new campaign. In the backyard of their nearest rivals, and to the detriment of poor Chris Rigger, whose awful aberration invited Bellamy in. Parler. Nemeth. Chance! Downing! Equaliser! First goal in the Premier League for Stuart Downing. Button for Shearer. Amiobi. He's gone over. And he's got a penalty. A penalty which Middlesbrough are quick to query. He has scored in the Premiership 49 penalties. He's missed 1 or 2, but not many. Newcastle's famous number 9, with 8 minutes to play, on the Riverside, Alan Shearer. 2-1. He's off and running for another year. It may be his last year, but the start of the long goodbye is going the way Shearer wanted it. Dyer, Bellamy, Kluivert's going through the middle here. Bellamy could feed him. Patrick Kluivert, oh! Could have been a sensational start. Should have been a goal for Jermaine Jenas. Parler. Zenden. And Dyer slipped, and Zenden can deliver. Oh, across, equaliser! It's Hasselbank! 90 minutes plus!
But should Hasselbank's equaliser have counted? The replay showed he used his right hand, not his head.
Very upset, of course. But the players are as well. Shearer, who was right next to him, is furious because it's clearly handball. It's past, he's gone past his head and he's done a hand of God again. Or the hand of Hasselbank, I should say.
And Bellamy dropping a little bit deeper this time to pick up the ball. Stephen Carr on the overlap. Shearer. Lovely chance! Great move from Newcastle. And the shot from Milner just beat the bar. Goes for goal, brilliantly! Timothy Atuba! in from Olivier Bernard-Shearer, hoping to bring someone else into it. He did that, but Robinson was Robert's equal again.
Nicked back by Aaron Hughes. Shearer, well won. Been doing that for decades. Milner, running at Drury and worrying it. James Milner, good crack, and a very good tumbling save and gallop. Oh, Bernard of France has lost it though to Huckabee, and Huckabee's in here for Norwich, and Huckabee has blazed it wide. And Milner, and Carr hasn't stopped moving here, and Milner can run at Drury, and Carr is well positioned. It's Carr's cross, and it's down for Bellamy! The Magpies lead the Canaries! And it's Craig Bellamy at St James's. They're playing it in. 2-0. Aaron Hughes has scored forward from centre half and doubled Newcastle's money. Bentley's had a goal. Oh! How has that slithered in? They are right back in it. A bolt from the blue from David Bentley and an aberration from Shea Gibbon. Forward for Shearer, flick for Bellamy. A full tilt here. Craig Bellamy dragged it. Forward again. Taken by Mackenzie. And Fleming! And Doherty! 2-2! What a comeback by Norwich! What a fantastic effort!
For the game at Villa Park, Alan Shearer was on the bench as Robson searched for the right attacking partnership and a first win. Craig Bellamy had scored 2 in 3 and was alongside Kluivert in his first United start.
Melberg to come in from deeper. On this Melberg! He's gone and done it again, you know. Olaf Melberg. That's forward by Robert. This is Bellamy. And it's Robert again. Genus. But. Kluivert. Chance! Newcastle United have equalised, and Patrick Kluivert marks his starting debut with a goal after 27 minutes, and goes some way, I would think, to justifying Bobby Robson's team selection. Hughes gets up, come off Melberg, back to Bellamy. Bellamy crosses again. Oh, and the near post and in! Andy O'Brien scores for Newcastle. They're 2-1 up. And what on earth was the Villa defence doing there? Genus. Bowyer. Oh. This is Samuel. And the cross in for Gareth Barry. And following up. Carlton Cole. It's 2-2! This is McCann to Hendry. Oh, they've got plenty to spare here. Angel. 3 the other way for Villa. Oh, what a waste that was. Meantime, Newcastle have a player off and a player down injured, but players gone on. They're down to 9, Newcastle. This is Solano's cross. Barry! He scored! Newcastle were down to 9 fit men when that goal went in. Solano. Oh, Angel nearly got it through to Vassell. Angel himself, deflection. It's gone in. It's 4-2.
4 games without a win was more than even Sir Bobby's immense reputation could take, and the black and white knight was relieved of his duties.
Bob was a friend of mine. I mean, if you work with somebody for 5 years, as everybody knows, it's very difficult to take that kind of decision, but circumstances left us with no choice.
When you look back at the tremendous job he'd done for the football club, because when he took over, we were heading down the league, and he came in and steadied the ship and took us all the way into Champions League football, which everyone here I know is very, very grateful for.
Bob's a great guy, and he's always welcome back at Newcastle, and we sorted his contractual situation out, so that's all in the past now, and as I said, he's always welcome back at Newcastle.
You know, we had another poor start to the season, and I think we finished the previous season not so good either, you know, so the board and the chairman felt it was the right time to change things.
The bookies had their usual fun and games in trying to guess Newcastle's new manager, but the chairman had always said it was a job for a big name, and he kept his word by appointing Blackburn's Graham Souness. The former Scottish international had experience in charge of a string of massive clubs.
We had a shortlist, and Graham won the shortlist. End of story. I mean, you can pontificate and beat it to death by saying so and so and X, Y, Z, but at the end of the day, only one man won the contest, and that was Graham Souness.
I feel I've come to a club with so much in place to make it successful that if we enjoy a wee bit of luck, we can certainly give the fans what they've been craving for a long time. I'm inheriting a fabulous situation. I'm so excited to be here, I can't tell you. My vocabulary doesn't extend that far to tell you what I really feel inside. This is it's a dream job for me.
Just temporarily, Souness had to curb his natural enthusiasm for the job. The new boss was obliged to take gardening leave till Newcastle had played the club he just left, Blackburn. The team was in good hands. Sir Bobby's number 2, John Carver, proudly took temporary charge. His first major decision to reinstate Alan Shearer to the starting lineup.
Ball swung in dangerously and put in. Newcastle take the lead inside the opening 5 minutes. Jermaine Jenas takes the plaudits.
A wonderful whip ball, dip on it as well. And with that amount of pace on it, all it takes is the slightest touch.
Well, it's been a period of relentless Newcastle pressure. Bellamy. Shearer! 2-0! Alan Shearer's first goal in open play this season, coming after another pinpoint cross. And Newcastle, in the first game since Bobby Robson left, find themselves 2-0 up in double quick time. Aerial threat inside the penalty area with Amiobi's presence now. Boya. Lovely turn, and it's 3-0. Andy O'Brien, the player that was integral in the shot, was a lovely ball in. Andy O'Brien did so well for a centre-half to create the opportunity.
The new manager started work in the first round of the UEFA Cup. The reliable Robbie Elliott wore the captain's armband. Not much was known about the opposition from Israel. The European competition was new to Hapoel Bnei Saknin. Another experienced defender, Ronnie Johnson, had been brought in to provide much-needed cover. The Graham Souness era was finally underway.
Rabah, wearing number 7 for Saknin, and it's not the best of clearances, straight to Robert. And they're struggling to clear, and here's Kieran Dyer, and then the shot from Kluivert. It's taken 2 minutes and 52 seconds for Patrick Kluivert to mark his first start at St James's for his new manager. And Kluivert makes it 2. And the Gallagate end acclaims a new darling. Who's pulled it back? And now, feelings running over, and I think that tackle was part of the spark. Nicky Butt was very centrally involved. He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. And you you'd have to feel that maybe if the referee had taken a firmer grip earlier. It's a red card for Nicky Butt on his European debut for Newcastle.
The first Premiership test for the new manager came against Southampton. James Beattie had often been touted as a Newcastle target and he led the Saints' greetings, but United already had enough strikers. Alan Shearer was back against his first club. Patrick Kluivert had to play after scoring both goals in midweek, and Souness could hardly leave out Craig Bellamy, so he didn't.
Here's Bernard. Bellamy. Kluivert may fall here for Shearer! Goal! It's an own goal, surely. Alan Shearer will want to claim it, but was just shy of half-time, and Newcastle United have the lead. Well then, another Delap long throw. Nobody really attacking that for Southampton. Oh, it's going to spin nicely. Svensson, yes! Southampton are level. Anders Svensson finding the room as everybody stood still at the back for Newcastle. Free kick is touched square for Carr! Brilliant goal! Absolutely fabulous strike from Stephen Carr, and he sports the widest grin on the south coast. Newcastle's first league win in Southampton in 24 matches, to the delight of Graham Souness. It's a brilliant start for the new Newcastle boss.
The annual North East Football Awards gave the judges a tough decision on goal of the season. Laurent Robert made sure they were spoiled for choice. His two blockbusters against Spurs the previous December had been hard to separate. The second one got the vote, and that was just as well. It was the one the Frenchman liked best too.
Laurent Robert. Still Robert. Dangerous ball. Holtz missed it. Kluivert has it. And Newcastle lead. And Patrick Kluivert scores his fourth goal for Newcastle in his fourth start for Newcastle. And this might come to Genus. And still. And it's got to be a second. And it is. James Milner scores, and Newcastle now have 3 points in the bag. James Milner with a goal. West Bromwich Albion undone now. Genus. It's got away from Greening, Jermaine Genus, and here's Shearer's chance, and it's 3. But though the problems change week in, week out, the answer's pretty much the same week in, week out. The answer's normally Alan Shearer. Here's Horsfield, oh, and he scored!
The manager has come in and made one or two small changes, tactical changes, one or two different things we do in training. Everyone's enjoying themselves, which I think is very important in a football club. But how many times have we seen it when an old manager goes out and a new one comes in and that team starts winning for whatever reason? What we have to do now is we have to go on a long run and put together some more results like this.
Graham is known as a disciplinarian, and that was one of the things. And the second thing was his determination for the job. He really wanted. He was up for the job. He wanted the job. He sees it as one of the biggest jobs in football, which it is, and one of the hardest jobs in football.
Well, there's a great deal made of the lack of discipline here, but I didn't really encounter major problems in that. People might laugh when I say that, but you know, we had individuals who did become a problem. But in the beginning, I think everybody wanted to be seen to be doing the right things. I think everybody, the vast majority, are good pros. We just had certain individuals who wanted everything to revolve around them, and football clubs are not like that. You know, it's a team game, and if the team, you know, if you're winning, you're in it together. If you're losing, you're in it together. And certain people here didn't see it like that.
I think when you get to know him, all he wants from a footballer is 110%, and I don't think that's too much to ask, both in the games and in training.
Tel Aviv was Newcastle's next destination, right on the edge of the European football map. And even Hapoel's hometown was 2 hours away from Israel's capital. Bnei Sakhnin were a predominantly Arab team whose domestic cup win had been hailed as much as a political triumph as a football one. United were based at the seaside, with the game played in the national stadium. The 2-goal advantage was never remotely at risk.
Kluivert. Gina striding through, and Kluivert! Just what Newcastle needed. 8.5 minutes played, and the Dutchman who scored twice a fortnight ago at St James's makes it 3-0 on aggregate. Towards Alameda. And now Kassoum, the teenager. Alameda, oh, they pulled one back. Ala Massoudi. Robert. Kluivert encouraging Bowyer to run forward, and he's done that extremely well, and it's fumbled, and Alan Shearer scores the 350th goal of his club career. Just the sort of chance on which he's thrived for so long, although he can't have expected the ball to come back to him off the goalkeeper like that. Bellamy, Robert, and now Kluivert, chance to make it 3-1 on the night. No question now about the outcome of this tie, as Patrick Kluivert puts Newcastle 3-1 up, 5-1 overall. Bellamy. Is that a foul? It is. Jermaine Genus brought down, and Newcastle have a penalty on a night where nearly everything is going their way. And you know who takes the penalties for Newcastle, don't you? It's the skipper. And despite the encroachment, Shearer makes it 4-1 now to Newcastle with his second of the night. Milner. Shearer, and Shearer shoots, and Alan Shearer has his 16th senior hat-trick with just about the last kick of the game. He's closing in on that club record of 200 senior goals. It was the final kick of the game.
So a hat-trick for the skipper and 2 goals for Patrick Kluivert. With the UEFA Cup group stage looming, the Anglo-Dutch combination was beginning to work.
Neither of us is blessed with blistering pace, so we have to get behind defenders in different ways. And I thought when we played together we did reasonably well. We both managed to score goals. So yeah, it went okay. I mean, there was room for improvement, but it was okay.
October began with Graham Souness against the manager many had tipped for the Newcastle job, Birmingham's Steve Bruce. But the Scot had won his opening 4 games, and Robbie Elliott returned at St Andrews.
Bellamy, Bernard, off the head of Cunningham. Bowyer challenging, and it's broken here for Patrick Kluivert, blocked by Cunningham. Ginas! 1-0 Newcastle! Great start for the away team.
Just ricochets here, Kluivert just tried his luck, but they've got bodies in there, and it's a simple tap-in at the end.
David Dunn, and he's got the timing of the run right, the flag has stayed down. It's Dwight York. It's payback time. Dwight York scores against Graham Souness' Newcastle. Savage has put some teasing balls into that box. Does so again here. It's in. Matthew Upson has got it. Birmingham are in the lead. Wonderful free kick from Robbie Savage that prized Newcastle apart. So Brian's ball in, away by Clapham. Oh, what a response from Nicky Butt! Wonderful goal. A stunning goal from Nicky Butt to give him his first goal for Newcastle United.
Darren Ambrose won his first start of the new season in midfield as United faced another difficult away test at the Valley. Clive was out, so Bellamy was back up front.
Murphy pushing it on to Stewart. What a save by Shay Given. That was headed for the top corner. Genus. Bernard. Wonderful ball in, and the first goal, and this time it will count. Craig Bellamy finishes off a superb Newcastle move. Well, now it's the first time really Lisby's got round the defender. Can he finish? He can. Kevin Lisby brings Charlton level. Lofted it this time, out of Shearer, and off the line. So close to Newcastle regaining the lead.
With the UEFA Cup now entering a group stage, Newcastle headed to Athens to play one of the Greek capital's less familiar teams, Panionios. The game turned when Shola Amiobi came off the bench. A grab of the shirt, a decent tug, and the referee's whistle will give you-know-who the chance of a free shot from 12 yards. Alan Shearer went for his favourite spot, top left, and Newcastle came home with maximum points. Job done. Newcastle were now 7 games unbeaten under Souness and putting together a tidy run of form. Manchester City were in town next, and that meant a return to St James's Park for a man who's always guaranteed the warmest of welcomes, Kevin Keegan. And that usually means goals.
It's Robert. It's brilliant. With his first goal of the season, gives Newcastle the lead. Distant. Oh, McManaman sold him short. Here's Carr, and McManaman's brought him down. No, Carr keeps his feet. It's a great run by Carr, brought down by James. Newcastle United penalty. Little doubt about the award that's been given to Newcastle. Possibly even deserve one for McManaman's attempted challenge. Never in doubt. First Robert, and then Old Faithful from 12 yards. Newcastle United 2, Manchester City 0. That would have been one for Craig Bellamy's collection. Mills. Wright Phillips has wriggled free. Sean Wright Phillips! City back in business. Fowler. Robbie Fowler goes down, and the referee's given a penalty. Nicky Butt leads the protests. Robbie Fowler from the penalty spot. Fowler scores! What a turnaround! Fired in, James stays back. Off the post, no, it's over the line. Newcastle are in front again. It's Robbie Elliott. Robert fired it in, David James stayed back, it came off Robbie Elliott and onto the post. Well, it's got to go down as a done-on goal, hasn't it? Distan ignores those and hurls in. Richard Dunn almost got a touch, it nearly went through. It's Wright Phillips! It's 3-3! Nicky Butt merged forward, uses the flanks in the shape of Olivier Bernard. Tries the touch and run past Willow Flood, and he has got past him. The cut back for Bellamy!
time they've won it. Willow Flood thought it contained Bernard, but it was persistent play from the French fullback, and then Bellamy with a super finish.
In the third round of the Carling Cup, the former Manchester United defender Ronnie Johnson at last got the chance to pull on a black and white shirt against Norwich City.
Laurent Robert will take the game's first corner. Low towards the near post, got through everybody, and it's over the line, and surely it's a goal. Referee says yes, it's the dream start for Newcastle United and the ultimate nightmare for Norwich. It's into the back of the net. It looks like it's come off. Matthias Svensson. Good work from Genus, and an advantage played by the referee. Amiobi goes to the goal line, twists and turns, puts it back to Genus with the volley. Oh, superb effort. Robert will cut in and look to his left foot. Oh, nice dummy from Kluivert. Robert's right foot low across the goal. It's still there. It was dropped. Kluivert nearly put the rebound in. Green ended up doing very well. Kluivert close. Hughes, early cross. Kluivert's there. It gets over him. But there's Ambrose for Kluivert. Oh, Kluivert back for Ambrose. Good challenge came in. Well, the referee has pointed to the spot there, and Newcastle have a penalty. Well, Mr. Dowd in no doubt that Darren Ambrose was fouled. A lovely touch from Kluivert through, and the challenge came in from Edworthy. Shola Amiobi from the spot, and it's 2-0 to Newcastle United.
In the second half, Amiobi conceded a penalty when he tangled with Matt Svensson, and former Newcastle player Darren Huckabee scored from the spot. 2-1 the final score. Since the Souness appointment in September, United were unbeaten in 10 games.
Well, the training methods were slightly different. Times were different into training. Routines were different for match days. And of course, it's well known that I think when a new manager goes in to a football club, he shakes things up and he stamps his authority as soon as he can on the dressing room, and says this is the way that I want to play. And Graham certainly done that in his first few games, and we got some decent results, and we went on an unbeaten run.
The trip to Bolton was a meeting of old mates. Few footballers proved themselves more popular with players and fans alike than Gary Speed, who left Tyneside in the summer to become a wanderer. And the Welsh international was still going as strong as ever.
Davis edge of the 6-yard box, but Jaide's probably a bigger threat, quite literally. And proves it, and it's in! El Hadj has turned it in from close range, and Bolton Wanderers take the lead. A real punch. Oh, what an equaliser! That is magnificent by Darren Ambrose. It came from absolutely nothing. It was unstoppable.
Wonderful, wonderful strike. It's unstoppable. It really is. Doesn't hardly have time to look up.
Little flick on, Juve in there again, and Gibbon was slow to react, and that's fatal as Davis slides in, and Bolton are back in front. A rare mistake from Shea Gibbon. And back to the other Frenchman. Oh, those two having their own private game at the moment. Robert cuts inside. That was close.
Back in the UEFA Cup, United's second group game saw them at home to Dinamo Tbilisi from Georgia. Newcastle were anxious to use their convincing European form to regain their stride after a first defeat under Graham Souness.
There's header. Kleiber. Alan Shearer, surely now! That's the way! At last! The end of an exasperating period for Newcastle United. Good one for the keeper, who just got palms on it, but not much more. And it's slammed in, gratefully, by Craig Bellamy. And the poor goalkeeper was just overwhelmed by numbers there.
Steve Harper had been waiting nearly 4 years for a Premiership game and got his chance against Fulham. Andy Cole was making a return to undoubtedly the scene of his greatest spell of goal scoring.
Intercepted from Pembridge. Here's Jermaine Jenas. Will need support in the centre. Behind Kluivert to Bowyer. Fine stop by Crossley. But he doesn't know an awful lot about it. No foul on Alan Shearer. We can hear what the locals think of that. Fulham play on meantime. Cole leaves it. Well for Collins John. Chance for Fulham. And a goal for Fulham. It's Collins John, the Dutchman, with his second Premiership goal of the season. Pressure from Cole has paid off. Has Malbranque to his right. This could be two for Fulham, and it is. They've soaked up the pressure and hit Newcastle with a sucker punch. Cole, Malbranque, two who combined for Fulham's second, looking for Radzinski. The referee has pointed to the penalty spot. Malbranque gets his second. It's 3 for Fulham. And a first Premiership win away from home now, surely, for Chris Coleman's side this season. Have to fancy Fulham to go on and perhaps snatch another, which they may do here. This is Luis Boa-Morte. Oh, what a wonderful finish from Luis Boa-Morte. Fulham have come to Tyneside and scored 4. Straight to Jermaine Jenas. Bowyer looks for Bellamy. And Newcastle do have one back. It's Craig Bellamy who has it, but merely a consolation.
The third of 4 home games in a row was the Carling Cup tie against Chelsea. No easy draws for United. Andy O'Brien was obliged to shift to right back. The Londoners were suitably rotated by the man with the grey coat.
Bernard. Robert, Olivier Bernard. This is good from Newcastle. It was very good from Newcastle. It is Robert, and it's a good tumbling save by Cudicini. Shearer, Patrick Kluivert. Robin. Gudjohnsen, chance for a shot and a goal. Einar Gudjohnsen, within 3 minutes of arriving, puts Chelsea in front. Robert. Cutting inside, Paulo Ferreira. Robert's shot, well held, Cudicini. Any spill and Shearer was lurking. Robin. Has explosive pace, and he's worried Titus Bramble, and he's beyond Bramble, and he's finished the tie. What a talent this Dutchman represents.
And just when you think it can't get much worse, Manchester United turn up only 4 days later. Rooney and co in the Premiership will be the toughest test yet for Newcastle's new management. And that was probably the opinion in the red corner as well. Sir Alex was looking to impose Newcastle's 3rd home defeat in a week.
Forwards cross. Bellamy. Trying out! Scintillating play from Newcastle United. Really defending here is Wayne Rooney to take it first time. It's brilliantly taken by Rooney. It's been a flying start by both teams, but Manchester United have got the first goal.
bit of a stumble here. And he's lost out to the strength of Shearer. Oh, and Shearer going it alone!
When Newcastle need him, Alan Shearer is there again, and he's done it all by himself. Wes Brown will hang his head. Shearer and Newcastle will punch the air in delight. It's 1-1.
He tries to assert the right of reply here. A stumble by O'Brien, and Scholes is there. He's given it. Shea Given on Paul Scholes. Penalty for Manchester United. Mike Dean points to the spot.
Van Nistelrooy, whose only Premiership goals this season have come from the penalty spot. It's 2-1 Manchester United. Van Nistelrooy does it again.
Giggs. Coming away to Smith, he's made it his.
Van Nistelrooy off the line, and Rooney. It's wrapped up for Manchester United.
Jermaine Genius was the captain as a Shearer-less United looked to regain their form at Crystal Palace. The boom of the manager's early impact had been replaced by 4 defeats out of 5.
Deft flick to try and get the ball round Milner. Newcastle can bring it away. Bellamy. Genius and Kluivert for him to aim at this time. Kluivert! Finally the pressure tells for a goal. In the absence of Alan Shearer, it's the 2 Newcastle strikers leading the line and combined. The Bellamy-Kluivert combination has always threatened to be potent. Now Newcastle can break. Robert. Kluivert mistimes his run. Robert goes for Bellamy, and Bellamy makes it 2-0. The points are safe. A goal thoroughly deserved. Bellamy has been brilliant this afternoon, and Newcastle have only their second away win in 21 Premiership matches.
If one thing had been consistent in Newcastle's season, it was the team's European form. 4 games have brought 4 wins, 10 goals scored and just 1 conceded. But the French side Sochaux would surely represent a more serious challenge. Well, you would have thought so.
Here's Amiobi. Possibilities here, comes to Lee Bowyer! And Bowyer finds the corner! Time to score his first goal of the season. Newcastle beginning the half on the attack, and Amiobi scoring. 40 seconds played in the second half, and Shola Amiobi scores a goal that takes him into double figures in terms of European competition. Dyer, now, what can he do from here? Bellamy had straight offside, lovely delay of the pass, it's Aaron Hughes! And Hughes has picked up Bellamy! Newcastle lead by 3 goals to 0. It's going to be their first ever win in France.
Bellamy just had to stay onside, John, as simple as that, not to stray a yard too far.
It is Laurent Robert! He has done what he's capable of. It's a late cameo, but it's a signpost from Laurent Robert that he wants to get back in the French national team. He was desperate to get on the pitch tonight, and he's made his point.
The team's senior pro was still not fit, but at the other end of the age scale, teenager Stephen Taylor made his debut at home to Everton.
The day of the game, I walked in the dressing room, and it was actually Dean Saunders who came up to me and said, "Has the gaffer spoken to you?" I said no, and gaffer walks through the door and tells me I was starting. So I was over the moon with that, and then from then onwards it just came as a bit of a blur.
Aaron Hughes. And by Bowyer to Bellamy, oh lovely link up with Kluivert, and he's away! It's a clean run on goal! And Bellamy scores! Lovely link up with Kluivert to free him, and he scores for the 3rd game in a row, Craig
Kluivert, so much has revolved around him, looking for Genus. It's Dyer. It's tight in there, but it's still broken. Oh, it's against the bar from Genus. Carsley. Oh, brilliant! A superb equaliser from Lee Carsley. Bellamy. Oh, he's so unlucky, he's crashed it against the post.
The new gaffer here has been absolutely fantastic with me and all the young lads. Obviously Sir Bowie Robson was great as well, but obviously Graham Souness has given me the opportunity to play first team football, and he's given me the chance, so I respect him so much for that.
5 years earlier, another 18-year-old had made his debut. Shola Amiobi got his first game against Chelsea. Now, 100 appearances later, he was up against the same club again. Shola and Chelsea have come on a bit in the meantime, unlike Newcastle's record at Stamford Bridge. They hadn't won there in 16 attempts.
Makelele to Drogba, to Lampard, unmarked! Off the inside of the post, but it crept in. Came back out of the stanchion. Duff. Lampard. Drogba looking for it. Bramble didn't clear it. Drogba has it! Here's Duff. Newcastle exposed. It's Arjen Robben, the current golden boy. And that's the reason why he's a golden boy, because just about everything he touches turns to goals. Is that a foul by Gibbon? The referee decides that it is a penalty kick. 105 Dutch League goals in 4 seasons. A blank here. No longer.
Taylor has taken the chance to push Newcastle forward here. Oh, what a goal! What a goal that is! Lee Bowyer gives Newcastle United the lead in some style, and it's taken only 3 minutes for it to happen. Portsmouth's second corner of the afternoon. Ian Dzeu looking for his third goal in as many Premiership games. Berger who delivers, and it's Stefanovic, and saved away from danger by Bowyer. Stone deflected it in. Steve Stone. Taylor. Milner. Amiobi. Away from Fai. Amiobi scrambling through.
By the time Sporting Club of Portugal came to St James's Park, Newcastle had already guaranteed their passage into the knockout stage of the UEFA Cup with 3 straight wins. But a kind of seeded draw against a third-place team was a decent incentive for United to go on and finish top of the group.
Ball forward for Amiobi, and
Bellamy's slipped in there! Start for Newcastle, and it's been given them by their little Welsh flyer, Craig Bellamy.
watching back with a free kick.
That's a good header, it's a very good goal. Custodio with the equaliser 6 minutes before half-time.
Newcastle still finished top of Group D. Sporting's third place didn't really do them justice. Ask Middlesbrough, but Europe was on the back burner for a couple of months. Graham Souness seemed to know his way around for United's next away game. He'd been one of the great Anfield heroes. Managing the Reds was a big football challenge too, but not as big perhaps as managing against them.
Milner. Now a little bit of room opening up for Newcastle. Bowyer's free, right side and onside. It's Lee Bowyer and Kluivert, 1-0 Newcastle. Liverpool left the back door
Newcastle took full advantage. Oh, and an own goal, I think. Sammy Hoopier was in there, so too was Bramble. I wonder who got the last touch. Good turn from Barosh, away from Elliott. Mellor, 2-1. What a turnaround. Bowyer. Nice turn from Kuehl. A lovely pass as well, and Barosh, surely 3, it is. A wonderful Liverpool goal.
For Souness, it was one happy return after another. Well, that was the plan at Blackburn, his previous club. Pity Alan Shearer couldn't say the same. He was still injured.
It's a good ball forward. Dyer is onside here for Newcastle United. Kieran Dyer. Just the start he and especially his manager wanted. Ferguson, this is Dickoff! Oh, bright as a button! Bears got good contact on it! It's magnificent! The Frenchman back in the team has put his differences with his manager to one side and put Newcastle back in the lead. Ferguson going for goal, and it should be a tap home, and it is. It's an equaliser from an unlikely source. Andy Todd scores his first goal at Ewood Park.
If United fans were feeling a winter draft, so perhaps was the manager after 6 games without a win. The sight of Patrick Vieira and champions Arsenal hardly encouraged thoughts of a dramatic change of fortune.
Amiobi threatens at the other end, and it's a mistake that could well have led to the first goal. Still Arsenal have possession late on here, only seconds remaining in this half. Oh, what a goal! Well, that came from absolutely nothing. Pumped back in by Bramble, all or nothing now. And it's not a bad effort. Well, Jermaine Jenas caught it, not too sweetly.
New Year's Day, Birmingham at home, and Shearer is still out in the cold, but he did at least have his old mate Rob Lee for company.
Here's Bellamy, again going to cause a problem for Teverley. He has done. Delicious ball in, the goal for Amiobi. Well, it got the header that the cross deserved. And Graham Souness's decision to play Craig Bellamy wide outright pays off in the early minutes here. And Lee Bowyer, terrific run. Owen Taylor down to save. Melchior will look to see if the back pass was on, and it's a slip that'll let Newcastle in here. And surely 2-0, yes, Bowyer. Lee Bowyer's 50th career goal. And a horror moment for Mario Melchior and Birmingham City. They're 2 down. Good ball from Morrison. Heskey! And Birmingham have one back. What an excellent finish from Emil Heskey. Here's Dyer running under the loose ball. Wrapping the crossbar with a terrific effort. Now Milner. Jenas. Good run from the Newcastle skipper. Brilliant run from the Newcastle skipper, Jermaine Jenas. And now Bowyer!
Newcastle's management team started against West Brom with coach Dean Saunders running the bench at the Hawthorns. The boss was serving a touchline ban. There was a first start for French teenager Charles Mzogbia, who'd come off the bench in 3 of the previous 4 games, and the Baggies were struggling.
Was hit the post from Bowyer, and it nearly got inside the post from Robert. Mzogbia got the ricochet now. Can he pick out? It's Lee Bowyer.
January brought the opening of the transfer window. French international Jean-Alain Boumsong was an £8 million buy from Rangers. No fee involved to bring Celestine Babayaro from Chelsea.
When a big club like Newcastle come and when they want you, you don't think twice, you know, and especially the manager as well, you know, Gramson. You know, when I spoke with him, we spoke man to man, and we had a good relationship at the beginning, so that was very important.
If we could get a settled back four and a settled team, I think, throughout the season, I think you'd see a better Newcastle, because as you say, every week it's a different back four, and you know, people don't get to know each other so well and know that each other's games and stuff, and it can be you know, pretty upsetting for different players coming in and going out every other week. You know, it's hard, I think.
The romance of the FA Cup, it's known as. But when a Premiership club draws Yeading from the Ryman League in round 3, it's a hiding to nothing, though there are not many Herefords around these days. The game was switched to Loftus Road, but it was still a strange occasion to make a debut. Yet it was Boumsong's first taste of English football. At least Babayaro must have known what to expect.
Stanley with a free kick, it's a good one as well, and a free header. And Lee Bowyer's found an opening. Amiobi and Taylor and Amiobi. And still Amiobi. Oh, what an opportunity there for Lee Bowyer to make it 1-0. The stern-faced chairman and manager. They could be in for an afternoon when they're left with egg on their faces. It's going to be Clark. Fine save. Oh, Clark with a really good free kick, and Steve Harper managing to turn the ball out for a corner. Now there's an opening here for Bellamy. Bellamy's cross. Here's the opening goal. It's Lee Bowyer who breaks the deadlock. Yeading's resistance has lasted 50 minutes. And in the end, a very simple tap-in for Lee Bowyer. They do, for my money at least, feel like a rudderless ship at the moment, Yeading. And that could be very dangerous indeed, because the set ball was not picked up, and Amiobi heads Newcastle surely now into round 4.
The club named a stand after Jackie Milburn and a bar after Alan Shearer. Plenty of big names wanted to say cheers at the opening of Shearer's. You Couldn't Move for Legends, musical as well, with Mark Knopfler christening the first night by playing local hero for the invited guests. And there's nothing like free beer on a Wednesday night in Newcastle to pull in the crowds. Shearer's Bar is open to the public throughout the week, not just on match days. A great place to watch away games on TV. A great night for Alan.
It's a great honour. I certainly had no hesitation in saying yes when the chairman asked if he could do it, and the chairman deserves a lot of credit, because they've done it out fantastically well, and considering 6 months ago this place was a car park, then they've done remarkably well, and it's underneath the Gallagher end where I used to stand as a kid, so fantastic.
No crafty pints for Alan that night. He'd been saving himself for a return to action against Southampton. And St James's Park got its first chance to assess the new defensive B-line. Babayaro made his home debut together with Boumsong. Plenty of interest in how he would slot in alongside Bramble in the centre of defence.
Bramble spotting his man, and it's Amiobi, and Uriah Rennie has pointed for the penalty. Shearer's back, 400 up in terms of career goals for club and for country, and no rustiness for the recent absence. Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Bowyer takes Bramble! Titus Bramble! Glided in at the near post. With Davenport and Crouch, Lundgren's come up towards the near post. Didn't want it put in. There is Davenport. And finally Crouch scores for Southampton.
The game at Highbury was to start one of the most astonishing and controversial episodes in the club's history. When United faced Arsenal without their live-wire forward Craig Bellamy, most fans presumed it must be a late illness or injury. But the volatile Welshman was sat in the stands, and a story began to emerge of a training ground bust-up with his manager. Souness was to explain afterwards that Bellamy had told his teammates he was going to feign an injury. The manager found out, the chairman was called, the player refused to apologise, and Bellamy was out of the squad. Not many people will remember the actual game. Dennis Bergkamp won it with a typical piece of clever footwork for the only goal. A far bigger shock was still to follow. Bellamy could never win. He later called the manager a liar live on Sky Sports. He wouldn't play for Newcastle again.
It all started with Craig by saying he was fearing an injury when he wasn't. Now he started the whole ball rolling, and then I think Graham tried to be sensible with it and not blow it out of proportion, and Craig got the wrong end of the stick or whatever, and decided to retaliate. I mean, to this day, and I believe this, that Craig Bellamy, if he could go back in his life, he would never made that TV interview. I think he was badly advised or not advised. I don't know what who was behind that, and but he made it. It was his call. He made it. To call somebody a liar, you know, is beyond the pale, and he went over the line.
At Highbury, Stephen Taylor had celebrated his 19th birthday, but the youngster knows he needs to impress his manager, who values the importance of experience.
Obviously, senior players are very important to a squad, but for us young lads, I think it thrives us on a bit more. And for me, it's a great challenge, and I know what's ahead of me. The likes of Titus Bramble, John Allen Boomsong and Andy O'Brien, them sort of players I've been competing with all season, and the three top quality centre halves, and just to get my chance was unbelievable. But I know it's hard to stay on the side with the players like they are here.
By the time Newcastle got back to the football, they had a new ball winner in midfield. Andy Fye had been signed from Portsmouth, made his debut at home to Coventry in the FA Cup. Another signing was a far more familiar face. Terry McDermott had always been a favourite as a player and as an assistant to Kevin Keegan and Kenny Dalglish. Now he was back to help a third Liverpool man.
Dyer with the pullback. The header, what a great save again from Steele. It was Jermaine Jenas with it. Picked out Shearer though. Shearer's shot. Shearer's goal. First chance he's had, and it results in a goal. And at last, the possession and the territorial dominance for the home side. Well, there are 29 places between these two teams in the league pyramid, and it looks about that sort of distance at the moment. Here come Newcastle again with Amiobi. Amiobi, 2-0 Newcastle. He just walks through, Shola Amiobi, and the sky blue sea in front of him just parted. It's 2-0 Newcastle. It's a better ball in, and it's a goal back. Coventry back in it, Didi Alabola. Easy for O'Brien. Down to Dyer. Now we'll get those legs moving ever so quickly into Coventry territory. Balayaro, faced by Duffy. Amiobi, Clivert and Shearer on the middle. Wonderful play. Somebody flips it and it's 3-1. Newcastle. Spectacular celebration from Balayaro. His first goal in the black and white stripes. And Newcastle have their 2-goal cushion 6 minutes into the second half. Bramble searching for Dyer, hugging this near touchline. Beautifully steps inside away from Giddings and then sets Shearer on his way. Williams across for Coventry. Shearer's cross. It's nearly 4 by Clivert, and then Amiobi misses the rebound.
With Babayaro signed, the unsettled Olivier Bernard was allowed to move to Southampton. The French left-back had made major progress since he joined United. He had a spell at Darlington on loan, but his career really took off under Sir Bobby Robson, as he emerged as a skillful defender, especially going forward. When he scored the odd goal, they were often well worth waiting for. The Bellamy saga ended with a diplomatic move north of the border to join Martin O'Neill at Celtic on loan. The manager he left behind had no second thoughts.
I've looked back on that and thought to myself, could I have dealt with it differently? And the answer is no. You know, there was no other way of dealing with it. You know, he put me in an impossible situation. He'd put the club, the chairman, in an impossible situation. And if the same thing happened tomorrow, I'd deal with it the exact same way, because when you're in a team game, it's the group that's important. It's not just an individual. And he got carried away with his own importance, and you can't have that at a football club.
February kicked off with United's second ever visit to the new City of Manchester Stadium and another landmark for Shearer.
He drills a wonderful ball out to Shearer, and the Obi's up with him as well. You didn't expect him to cross it, did you? That's Premiership goal number 250 for one of English football's greatest ever goal scorers. And what a way to get it! Another landmark in the magnificent career of Alan Shearer. Thatcher finds Musampa with a throw. Osveld onto Barton. Mills overlapping down the right. He's looked for the ball instead to Wright Phillips, who goes down, and that has to be, and is a penalty kick. Bramble has blotted his copybook. Fowler to bring Manchester City level. And that he does! Bowyer takes the free kick. Managed to bypass almost everyone, but in the end, David James went scrambling as Bramble hooked the shot just wide.
Shearer's had it looking for Amiobi. Now Dyer, and Newcastle have the breakthrough. Kieran Dyer, the man to supply it. Just 6 minutes into this second half, and what a wave of relief rolls round St James's Park. Suddenly, it's a very different place, St James's. It's almost as if you could feel the tension lift, and the job isn't done yet. Charlton certainly won't give up. Here's Ramadan. Goes for goal. Oh, what a sensational goal from Dennis Ramadan.
By the following Thursday, the United players' passports were back in use. It's knockout time in the UEFA Cup, and Toon Army were on parade in Holland.
Bakati, still 22 years of age, and he's got to be sure here. And he's not sure enough, Bramble, and the opportunity might well be here for a first goal. And what a goal it is as well from Christian Huntelaar. Genus, plenty of space here for Robert to try and exploit, and it is Laurent Robert. And here it is with Shearer. He's definitely onside this time, and Alan Shearer has the away goal that Newcastle United cherish. It's 1-1, and Shearer, who almost scored 2 minutes ago, this time does rattle the ball into the Heerenveen net, and they've gone a bit quiet here. Robert gets away from Braga, and he hits it long, and he hits it into a great position for Patrick Kluivert. A good takedown from the Dutch international. Remember, he was playing Champions League football with Barcelona last year. He's got in, and he's got into the net from Lee Bowyer, and Newcastle United may well have won it here. Bowyer, who scored 2 for Leeds United on this ground, has now got 1 for Newcastle United, which may be good enough to win them the night.
Just tell us about your goal.
Yeah, it was a tremendous ball in from Patrick, one from Laurent into Patrick, and a great one-touch ball, and managed to just stay onside and caught it sweet, and delighted to see it go on the back of the net, as you can see.
You really did need this win tonight, didn't you? Because the pressure's on. I think Graham Souness was taking a bit of abuse again before you did equalise.
I don't know any game playing for Newcastle where the pressure's not on, do you?
The domestic cup competition was soon starting to look a tougher proposition than United's European challenge. The FA Cup 5th round brought leaders Chelsea to St James's Park. United were long overdue a cup win against the Blues. In January '96, the Londoners came out on top in a penalty shootout after a third-round replay ended 2-2. Eddie Newton with the decisive spot kick. The 2000 semi-final at Wembley produced a classic Newcastle goal. Alan Shearer and Rob Lee with some impressive role reversal, but Lee's stunning header was trumped by 2 goals from Gus Poyet. And in November, Chelsea came north to dump Newcastle out of the Carling Cup, 2-0 in extra time. Enough was enough.
Robert now looking for Shearer this time. He finds Kluivert! Well, he's shown them there, Patrick Kluivert, and Newcastle lead with just over 3 minutes gone. Bridge on from Thiago, continues his movement, and this man's having his winners' medal from 2 years earlier. Here's Yaroshik, and it's a good stop by Shay Given. He's also played in an FA Cup final back in 1998. Here comes the corner, and here's Boomsong's header away. Lampard a long way out, but it needed saving. It came skimming through from Frank Lampard. Shola Amiobi onside, brought down by Kuricini, who was sent off by Mark Halsey a couple of years ago at Stamford Bridge.
No, he's not off. Not off. It's a free kick. Might be a yellow card, but there's plenty of defenders around here. Oh, it's close that. Is he giving them red? Well, I think that's harsh.
Save! What a save by Johnson!
We said before our 2 games, UEFA Cup and this game, that it was a massive week for us, and we've come away with 2 victories. And we just can't stress how important it was, and we're just delighted to come out with it with 2 victories.
What you read in the papers all week is that they're going to arrest a lot of players with one eye on Barcelona, and it was up to us to make sure that after their players were arrested, we got a result.
That's to stay in the UEFA Cup as well, and here is Laurent Robert with bags of space into which he can run, and Dyer to aim for, and Amiobi, and Van den Buscher has made a right hash of that, and Newcastle have the settling goal. Royal went in to disconcert the goalkeeper, neither communicated, and Robert has a vast slice of fortune, and Newcastle have a 2-goal cushion. Header out by Carr, only came to Huntelaar! That's a fine save, and the follow-up is lashed over by Brugging. Robert for Shearer, there you go! Home and dry, more than an hour to play. Jackie Milburn, -12. Milburn's corner. That was a hand up. Oh, it's clear handball. It's clear handball by Shola Amiobi. The right thing is that it should be a penalty. It is a penalty, and Brugging is over the penalty. And Van goes to clean sheet.
Back in the Premiership, surprise package Bolton Wanderers arrived at St James's. No clean sheet again, but 2 stunning goals earned the points.
Great effort again from Shearer. And he's still awaiting the ball on the edge of the penalty area. And the header kept out somehow by Jääskeläinen. Good save from such close range. Caballero. Former Chelsea man finds Bowyer. Clever skill by him to lose 2 Bolton players in midfield. And finds Stephen Carr. Newcastle's best move so far. And it's rounded off with a quite magnificent goal. The man who started it was the man who finished it. Oh, brilliant play by Okocha. Can he deliver? Wasn't bad. Davis with the flick on. And Giannakopoulos with the equaliser. A splendid Bolton goal. 5 minutes before half-time. bit of quality and frustration in equal measures. This time it is quality, and it was Jean-Alain Boumsong who was denied by a goal line clearance. Shearer, Dyer, brilliant, wonderful reaction, Newcastle in front.
The Liverpool game, Alan Shearer makes it 400 Premiership appearances, but Aaron Hughes will also quietly moved up to 250 starts.
That's Robert, and Scott Carson opted a punch as far as Bowyer, touch from Boumsong, and Bramble has hoisted it high into the stands. Shot or cross, the choice is his, it is a shot, it's brilliant! How the game needed that! Laurent Robert has plucked something out of nowhere. Shearer, Patrick Kluivert eats up the ground on Carragher. Kluivert sees him off and misses the chance to seal the points for Newcastle. Luis Garcia to Steven Gerrard, chance for Gerrard. And with that miss, Liverpool's chance of getting anything must have gone.
The Frenchman Jean-Alain Boumsong had brought stability back to the defence since his return from injury. He was fast impressing the Tyneside fans.
I was happy to play at St James Park. You know, I really like the stadium, and the stand are beautiful. The fans are fantastic, and my first game I was really delighted to play the first game, and when I played, and it was. I was really proud to have worn that jersey, and I'm still proud.
Next stop, Athens on United's European tour. Red and white stripes everywhere for Olympiacos, whose fans take a bit of stopping when there's a big game on. Inside the Kariskakis Stadium, what an atmosphere.
I'd said prior to the game that whoever was to get through that tie would have a real opportunity of progressing.
This is Andy Fine, and Kieran Dyer now through with a chance against the keeper. Dyer still going for goal, side netting, but the whistle's gone and it's a penalty. George Artos must have fouled him there as Dyer went for the ball, and he is off. There's Dyer, Nikopolidis was out, Dyer's eyes on the ball, there was the shove.
That was one of the loudest receptions that I've had when I've been taking a penalty. But I was thankful when I seen it go in the back of the net.
And the Greeks are going berserk behind that goal. Shearer, the Iron Man, to take it. What a penalty from Alan Shearer. He just loves it, doesn't he? All that intimidation, ice cool, the perfect spot kick, 1-0 Newcastle. Oh, and there's another penalty there. The referee's given Olympiacos a penalty. Andy O'Brien on Stolidis with a bit of a pull there. He was a bit quick to go down, but there was a tug. And now Georgievich gets the chance to equalise, and another excellent penalty, and it's 1-1. What a start. Laurent Robert now over the ball. It's his sort of range, his sort of distance. Here goes Robert. It's another fabulous strike from the Frenchman. Say what you like about him. He can put away a free kick. Nicky Butt. This is Milner, the substitute, out wide with a bit of space to work. He's kept the ball in. Nice bit of skill, he's round his man. And Kluivert, another superb goal for Newcastle. It's 3-1 Patrick Kluivert. Great wing play though by James Milner. Real skill. And a top quality finish as well. The step over left him for dead. Perfect pass, perfect finish. Just 3 days later, Alan Shearer was leading out the team for another make-or-break contest. This time, Spurs at home in the FA Cup 6th round.
The one ahead of Dyer. It was a bit of a lucky ricochet that sent it out to Alan Shearer, who's making progress himself and sets up the goal.
And Patrick Kluivert, just as he did against Chelsea, gets Newcastle off to a flyer. Shearer, who scored so many, put it on a plate. Canute past Gines. A great stop from Given, and a wonderful volley. Keane had the first one, Defoe the second, and they stand all around St James's Park to salute Shea Given.
And looking back, that was probably one of the highlights, obviously getting to the semi-final, and I think we played in Europe 3 days before that, and Spurs rested all week, and I think in the second half we did tire a bit, you know, and had to be called on a few occasions, and you know, happy to be there when called upon.
Styles wraps it up with the final whistle. The Alan Shearer story goes on in the FA Cup. It's a 7th straight win for Graham Souness.
You see the atmosphere today, what a great atmosphere, and see the fight and the spirit in the lads, and fingers crossed. Been seeing it for a few years though.
The manager said he's been badgering away at you to get you to change your mind. Has he said anything that's made you think you might have a little rethink?
You asking me questions like that after we've just won a quarter-final 1-0. Let's go and have a drink with the lads, eh?
OK, before you do that, Shea's the FA man of the match. You do the honours.
Well done, Cheers. Thanks very much. Cheers.
7 wins in a row now for United and no let-up in the schedule. A third major cup tie in 7 days. Olympiacos were on Tyneside for the return leg with Newcastle 3-1 up for a place in the UEFA Cup quarter-final.
Robert. It's up Carney for Dyer and back for Nicky Butt! What a fabulous hit! It is Robert off the long run, and it is not one of his ace efforts, but it's still laid back in towards Dyer, who didn't drop off and scored quite brilliantly, quite impertinently, but quite brilliantly. It is lovely. A gorgeous goal, and the tie is surely safe, but as decorative a goal as you could wish to see on a night of this nature. And Robert has taken it quickly and politely, and Shearer was onto it. And was a strug's length away from it. Dyer. Oh, that's neat. Robert. Aimed it at Shearer! Certainly hope Newcastle come out with similar appetite in the second half, because they could get a few here. Dyer's after another before the break. He's pulled it back for Shearer! European night of the season, when Alan Shearer plays, Alan Shearer scores. 190. There is Bouya going in, and Nikopoulides kicked it out just. And now Gines and Bouya! Yes! It took a while, but it squirmed through the goalkeeper, and Newcastle are into party mode now. They're over the hills and far away into the quarter-finals. Gines. Oh, nicely slipped through for Alan Shearer. This is his business. It's just what he does. Time after time after smiling tide. Newcastle have 4 on the night. Shearer has half of them, and he ain't half pleased about it.
I think for us to beat them 7-1, I think it was, on aggregate over the 2 legs was a decent achievement, and that just put the belief into everyone that keep playing like this and we could win this competition.
Andy Fye was back in the starting lineup for the trip to his old club Portsmouth. It was only United's 2nd Premiership game of the month.
And now the free kick has been advanced. Bouya. He's got to the byline. Stan tries to get there, but he can't. And Kieran Dyer has given Newcastle United the lead. Lua. Stone inside the penalty area. Yakubu now arriving. Lua has turned boomsong, and Steve Stone has scored the equalising goal.
April could not have begun better for Newcastle. Shock news, but great news. Alan Shearer changes his mind and signs to play on for another season.
The manager and the chairman were into me nearly every week, trying to get me to change my mind. And it was only up until a month before really I made or announced my decision that I was going to stay on for another year that I really took it seriously, and I just started to speak to different people who are both still in the game and no longer in the game, both managers, ex-managers, players, ex-players who have experienced retiring, and it was unanimous that what came back to me was no one felt I should have or I should go ahead with my decision and retire. And I just sort of sat down one night with the family and thought, well, hang on a minute, if everyone thinks that, maybe I am being a bit hasty. So that's when I decided to have a real long, hard think about it.
I once was a footballer, and I've worked with him for a few months now, and I can see in him that, you know, he's a lover of football. And it's a hard thing to give up, because when you give it up, it's gone forever. You can't give it up for 6 months or a year and go back to it.
Alan thinks he can do a job next season. He admits himself he doesn't. I can't see him playing every game, neither can anybody else, but neither can himself. But I think he's going to play the best part of them, and we want the record broken.
I got changed there next to Alan, and just the feeling to be sitting next to an absolute legend like he is unbelievable. And the way he leads his lads out, and his little team talk before the game as well, just before we go out, is unbelievable. But I think he's been a massive help to me this season anyway.
What an ambassador for the club. You know what you know, someone to help me. He knows his club inside out. He's extremely well respected everywhere in football, not just in this country. And you know, I want him with me.
With Alan, is it more to you than just about the goals on the pitch, that because of his position in the city and the club, that you want to keep him in your company, as it were?
Yeah, I've said before, whether he's a turnstile operator here or the manager here, I think it's essential that, and he wants this as well, to be still part of the club.
24 hours later, Newcastle United's great ambassador walked out to a fantastic ovation on his favourite ground. 90 minutes on, however, the party mood had turned ugly.
Davis with the cross, and it might break for Angel. Aston Villa lead in the opening stages. Juan Pablo Angel back in the side. Good play by Dyer. He's got Samuel with him this time. Back for Boya. Appeals for handball, optimistic. Carr. And that, a wonderful attempt. And a wonderful attempt from a man right back on the top of his game. Vassell. The difference he's made in his return to the Aston Villa side. Now Barry, off the inside of the post. And Newcastle breathe again as Hughes reads the bounce quicker than Angel. And Newcastle ending the half with an opportunity to get back on level terms as Genus onside misses the target. Booms off. And Vassell has won possession really cheaply. Is this a chance to win the game for Aston Villa? Still Darius Vassell keeps his feet. And that has got to be a penalty and a red card. Stephen Taylor almost on the line, and Newcastle down to 10 men. It's 2-0, and it's surely the game won for Aston Villa. Only their second ever Premiership win on Tyneside now looks assured. Aston Villa with bodies forward, and that is another penalty. Vassell blocked by Stephen Carr, and in a game which has seen no penalties awarded at one end, Villa have had two. He goes the same way, the result is the same, and the result is going to be an Aston Villa victory, an emphatic win for Villa on Tyneside. 3-0 they lead. Niobe fouled by Samuel, and then
that's fighting broke out between two Newcastle players. They're fighting amongst themselves. It's Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer. They are not fighting with Aston Villa players.
I've not seen that before, ever, in football. Never, as long as I've supported as a kid, I've never seen two players so publicly and so definite have a go at each other, and it was just unbelievable. It was unforgivable.
A few people certainly had their say in the dressing room afterwards. There was nothing gone on between them beforehand. They are good friends, despite what the pitch had shown. And it was just one of those things that unfortunately happens. And they shook hands on the Monday morning and got on with it. And I think they both certainly regret what happened, and hopefully we never ever see anything like that again.
Oh, without a doubt, our season fell apart that day. Without a shadow of a doubt. You know, I think we had gone 1-8, was it 1-7, drawn 1 at Portsmouth the week before, going in would have been 9 undefeated. We didn't play well on the day, but some strange refereeing decisions went against us, and I think that caused great frustration throughout my team and inside the stadium, which led to Kieran and Lee Boyer getting sent off, and our season fell apart at that moment.
Souness still picked Kieran Dyer to start against Sporting Club of Portugal in the quarter-final first leg. Lee Bowyer was left on the bench as the United squad started to look a little stretched.
Challenge on Dyer went unpenalised. Rochem back for Lee Edson. And Lee Edson's hit bobbled nastily, and that was the best that Given could do. Now Robert delivers. This time! Take that away from him! Alan Shearer, of course. And that's a fine save from Harper from Moutinho's left-footed strike.
Well, he could have been closed down a little bit quicker.
Taylor through the middle, that is a smashing ball. Oh, he smashed it over as James Milner. It really was a wonderful ball from deep from Stephen Taylor, and Milner took it really expertly.
Shay Given's hip injury gave Steve Harper his second Premiership game of the season. For manager Graham Souness, it was back to White Hart Lane, where his playing career had started.
Now Carr. Genus. He knows where Shearer will be. And he looks for him, and it's Amiobi who made the downward header. How unlucky is that?
Newcastle, they can't seem to keep it for more than 4 or 5 passes. The only time they get any joy is when they just bash it forward to Shearer or Amiobi.
Oh, it was a poor clearance. He could be punished. Defoe! Jermaine Defoe finds the net, but I'm afraid from Newcastle's point of view, Harper has to take the blame.
The Newcastle fans who made the trip to Lisbon experienced a city whose football was revitalised by Euro 2004. The proper Stadium of Light had been rebuilt since Souness was manager of Benfica, and United boss expected a red-hot reception across at the green half of the city. Sporting's José Alvalade Stadium provided another magnificent setting as Newcastle chased a second successive UEFA Cup semi-final. Laurent Robert was out of the squad after some press comments angered the manager.
And Kieran Dyer is through here on goal with a chance, and Dyer has scored! Newcastle take the lead, and the Alvalade. His pace did it, too quick for them. Had a look up through the legs of Ricardo, and Newcastle now are 2-0 up on aggregate.
Good build-up this from Sporting. Moutinho with the ball in.
And the equaliser there on the right foot, Nicolai. 1-1 here in Lisbon.
Sporting again getting the ball across the Newcastle box.
Oh, what a shot and what a save there. It was Moutinho who hit it, and Shay Given, the perfect response. His man looking for the free kick, but Dyer side netting Again, Dyer's running was brilliant. Dyer again coming in on the diagonal. Good ball in square hit for Milner. Ricardo saves it, and another chance there for Newcastle to wrap up this game. Shearer gets a touch on there, and this is Kluivert, and Shearer's herring through the middle and wants it. Shearer's got it now. Shearer looking for the shot, and Ricardo gets behind it. The chances are there. This is Douala now. Little layoff for Barbosa. Barbosa looking for a shot. Given saves, but the follow-up from Sarpinto. It's 2-1. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Newcastle still lead on the away goals. Boy, it's anxious. Sporting are taking some stopping now, and that's Beto. It's 3-1. Sporting in the lead now. And they're going wild here in Lisbon. Gibbon flat out had no chance. And here comes Pye through the middle. He just couldn't bring that one down. Oh, that might have been the chance to save it. Given to Stephen Carr. Oh, I don't think he saw Rochenbach. And Rochenbach could wrap it all up here for Sporting. It's 4-1 on the night. It's 4-2. It's so cruel for Newcastle. And Sporting are heading for the semi-final.
We had high expectations going into that game against Sporting. We thought we could do it. And then when we scored first, we thought we've got a great chance. But you know, things started to fall apart when JG goes off half time, and then Titus and then Kieran. The whole thing started to fall apart then.
To go 1 goal up and 2 goals up in the tie and not to go through was a real kick in the teeth. You know, I don't know how we didn't go through that tie, and I still look back and think, you know, my whole time in Newcastle, I've been here 8 seasons, and I've never felt as low or as bad as I did after that game in Sporting Lisbon. You know, because I really felt that we were going to win that trophy. Inside me, I had a gut feeling that, you know, this was our chance to win the UEFA Cup, and that was the biggest disappointment for me by a mile.
I think in all my years that we've been here, that has been the best opportunity that I think we've had of picking up a piece of silverware. And when I look at the teams that were left in it at that quarter-final stage, that was it. That was a competition that we should have and could have won.
You know, getting to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup isn't a mean feat. The boys did very well to get there.
No time for Newcastle to lick any wounds. The team flew straight to Cardiff for the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United. As ever, there was a magnificent turnout from the eternally optimistic Toon Army, though privately, optimism was hardly at a peak. John Allen Boomsong was available again, Laurent Robert was back in from the cold, while Nicky Butt started against his old club. But in truth, Souness was desperately short of options in his threadbare squad. The Millennium Stadium provides a marvellous setting for the big occasion, and the black and white half was ready for the challenge. Unfortunately, even the rich and the famous in the Newcastle ranks soon found there was very little to smile about.
Ronaldo really weaving patterns here, Manchester United. Ronaldo tries to get it in early this time. Van Nistelrooy, it's in! It's in, he's done it! He's broken that barren spell, and Manchester United take the lead. Shearer comes in. Bodies all over the place in the 6-yard box. 2 minutes to go in the half as Ronaldo picks the ball up. We've got 1 minute of stoppage time to be played as well. Here's Ronaldo's cross. Scholes! Oh, it's 2-0! What did I tell you about Paul Scholes and Newcastle and Paul Scholes of the FA Cup? Nicky Butt. Oh, what a poor pass that is at present. And all the people to give it to. Wayne Rooney. Scholes. And United have got a man over here if they play it right. It's Rooney again. Boomsong challenges. It's Scholes. It's surely got to be Van Nistelrooy. Well, what did I mean, honestly. Any one of 3 could have scored. Van Nistelrooy has done what he did in the final. He scored 2 here.
would have been tough with a full squad trying to beat Manchester United. I wouldn't say it was impossible, but it was very, very difficult going into that game, particularly what happened on the Thursday night in Lisbon, and with our injuries and suspensions. But the first half, as I said, was where we'd lost that game. We stood off them, we gave them too much time on the ball and respect, and when you do that to very, very good players, then they punish you, and that's what Man United did.
We were a shadow of ourselves. I think psychologically we've been damaged over in Lisbon, and physically we weren't 100%. And on top of that, we had injuries to deal with. So, you know, whereas Man United were at full strength, we were far from full strength going into that semi-final.
Remember, we've played 19 cup ties this season, and I think a lot of people forget that we've had 19 cup ties. So really, it works out as 2 league games, 1 cup tie. I think we played 12 games in 28 days recently, which is why you need big squads, and unfortunately with the injuries we've had, we've suffered in the league.
The most important memory that my brain chooses to remember anyway was who our supporters were that day. You know, I've been involved in lots of cup finals, and I'd have to say the supporters that day were as good as any group of supporters that I've seen support a team. You know, especially with the way the game panned out as well, where we didn't give them a great deal to shout about. They found something to shout about, which was, you know, their football club. You know, it's father, son, mum and daughter all there, and that, you know, that you can see it in their faces, because it's a great stadium. You're actually close to the supporters, and they supported the team even when we were 3-1 down. They were still the most vocal group inside the stadium. They would have embarrassed the Manchester United supporters that day on how to support a team. They were fantastic.
Newcastle had barely played half a dozen Premiership games in the 2 previous months of football, so it was back to reality with a bump at Carrow Road against Norwich. Robbie Elliott was in the team again for his first start of 2005 against a City side who'd suddenly discovered a new inner belief.
Newcastle currently 13th in the Premiership. They've never been lower than 13th in their Premiership time. And there's an opening here for them. Alan Shearer desperately close. Boomsong's in there. O'Brien's in there. And here's Shearer. Milner. Carr again driving forward. 3 to pick out inside that Norwich penalty area. One of them's Robert, who gets a second chance. And on his less favoured right foot, can't take it. Robert. On by Shearer. Here's Ambrose. Shearer might get a second chance. And Kluivert! An equalising goal for Newcastle United. And it's come just 35 seconds before the end of normal time. But Patrick Kluivert, on as a second half substitute here for Newcastle United, has got their equaliser. We've had 3 minutes of second half stoppage time. It's towards Ashton, and he's got there! And Norwich City are back in front! A magnificent header by Dean Ashton!
Off the pitch, the club continued to progress with the opening of a new superstore underneath what older fans will always remember as the Gallagher End. Even recent misfortunes couldn't dampen the enthusiasm of the supporters to meet their heroes. A lift was much appreciated all round. The Premiership's fixtures computer had played a cruel trick on Newcastle, sending them to meet Manchester United at Old Trafford just 7 days on from that semi-final disaster. What a place for 21-year-old defender Peter Ramage to make his first Premiership start.
Zogbia tries again. Deflection gives Ainsley a bit of a problem. Well, a flashing shot from Darren Ambrose, who scored a super goal earlier this season. Carr and Smith went for it. I'm sure both had eyes on the ball only. Lovely movement by Rooney. Going to be an end product for Manchester United here, and for Wayne Rooney. The answer is no, because Shay Given wasn't fooled and made sure that he got his near post covered. That's Howard again, and it's going to be very costly this time. Tim Howard's mistake, Darren Ambrose with the goal, and Manchester United are losing to Newcastle United at Old Trafford, and the goalkeeper, who's had a dicey 10 minutes or so, now pays the heaviest of prices. An astonishing moment from a true footballing genius. That's his corner, and they lead, and Wes Brown, a scorer for the first time in a Premiership game, and at a vital time too.
Kieran Dyer returned to the United side that met Middlesbrough at St James's for the 106th Tyne Tees derby. But within half an hour, the midfield man had pulled up with a recurrence of his hamstring strain. His season was over. United had lost 5 in a row, while Middlesbrough were vainly trying to keep their UEFA Cup hopes alive. Szilard Nemeth and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank could have won the points, but in the end, Borough were lucky to hang on.
And it's come out again. Oh, what a save that was by Jones. Absolutely magnificent stop to deny Milner.
A chance to launch one more attack.
And the man on the end of that attack is Alan Shearer, and Zogbia is forward. Here he is! What a chance to be a hero! Charlie Zogbia, the 18-year-old, could have won it in the last seconds.
He's a very, very good player, and in the future, if he works hard, he can become a great player, because he has he's quick, he has the skill, the technique, and he's not a lazy boy. But I think if he continues to work like that, we heard from him in the next few years. Yeah.
Stephen Carr screaming for the ball in acres of space, and Fye will slot it through now for Carter and Onto. 3 in the centre, Shearer! Ambrose couldn't get to the follower. That's a great ball forward as well. This is Milner. Here's Shearer! And Zogbia. Milner. And Zogbia wants it returned to him. Milner's ghosted into the space. Now the shot. Real sting behind that. Charles Zogbia on the ball. Boomsong! Yet to score his first Newcastle United goal. That one of his better chances.
Jean-Alain Boumsong saw his natural leadership qualities confirmed when he led out United against a Fulham side captained by Newcastle fan Lee Clark. The Londoners needed the points to confirm their Premiership status. Alan Shearer had been given a rare day off, so Patrick Kluivert led the line.
Here's Stephen Taylor. There's a good sprinkling of youthful promise in this game. Zogbia, a great cross from Milner, comes down to Ambrose, who puts it away for Newcastle. 1 or 2 warning signs for Fulham, and they do trail at Craven Cottage. Volts, Clark, it's Lee Clark's way. And Cole, Given did well, Clark. Terrific Patrick Kluivert header. 2-0 Newcastle.
Terrific delivery.
And Amiabe. 3-0. Well, this by Newcastle's away standards is sensational stuff. And the set pieces have done the trick in the second half. Fulham won't be happy. Here's Rosinia on the run. And Radzinski likewise. Thomas Radzinski's through. Beautifully finished. Forte. Pass 5. Radzinski can't get round the outside of Taylor. Jensen's there. Newcastle resisting manfully. McBride! Great stop by Gibbon. It's the save of the game.
You know, we've got 3 kids out there, 3 teenagers and a 20-year-old. We've played something like 10 games in 36 days. And I can't ask any more. From the teams I'm putting out, I can't ask any more. We haven't played as well tonight as we did against Middlesbrough last week, or indeed Crystal Palace at the weekend. We got draws out of those games. Both games we should have won. Tonight, you know, we've got the result we deserved.
Everton know that if they win today, they are almost in the Champions League. Kilban has run away. It's Arteta! And Gibbon got across to make the save, but Kilban's going to lob it back in. Ferguson and Yobo both there, and it's come off. Yobo. Zogbia. Amiobi. And Amiobi, as lashed out, is going to be sent off. How foolish, how ridiculous. Shola Amiobi has to walk. Marcus Bent, Boomsong out there with him. Bent's got it across. Bramble clears, only as far as Carsley. Arteta surely goes for the hit. He's found Cahill, who's onside. It's 2-0. It's Tim Cahill.
The season had saved the best till last. Champions Chelsea took the field for the final game at St James's Park, with fans and players rising to salute the Premiership's dominant force. There were no issues left to resolve, just an afternoon to be enjoyed, with neither side wanting to end a long campaign on a low.
In again, and it's there! And it's a foot in from Bramble that's given Newcastle the lead. So Titus Bramble gets his second goal of the season, having stayed in the penalty area after the first corner kick, and he'll be glad he did stay. Oh, Graham Silas will be happy, whoever scored. Just wonder whether there might be a little debate after as to whether the final touch was Bramble's, or whether it might have been the defenders at the other end. Good Johnson goes down, penalty kick surely. Oh, there's an instant response from Chelsea, the champions. Foul on Good Johnson by Babayaro.
And that could cost Newcastle the lead here.
13 league goals for Frank Lampard. No mistakes with the penalty kick. Carvalho, downward header. Still in there. Thiago underneath it. And now a chance for Yaroshik. Great save from Gibbon. Took a deflection. Shake of the head. So close. Ball out for a throw-in.
Newcastle had got used to European football, so a league position of 14th brought no satisfaction. Even with a career spent at massive clubs, Graham Souness had found managing Newcastle a testing experience.
For me, it's been a very sharp learning curve, and it's only made me more determined. You know, people, obviously I'm talking to you and this is going to go out on a DVD. People don't really know me. You know, there's very few people know me, but all this has only made me more determined to be successful here.
If you look at Everton, they nearly got relegated last season. And look where they are now in the Champions League. So don't tell me it's not, you can't get back up there. I mean, why shouldn't we? With the squad, the wages we pay and the number of people we've got, and the facilities we've got, why shouldn't we be challenging up the top 4, 5, 6, whatever? I think it's achievable. Of course it's achievable.
This club has great opportunity, great advantages to be one of top. I mean, the three big clubs in this country. I think this club at the moment is one of the 5 big clubs in the country. But there is a special thing in this club. It's the fans. You know, when you play a football player, you can have a good team, good manager, good chairman, everybody good in the club. But when you have good fans, that's an extra.
All I'm thinking about is, obviously, if they do sign a centre half, it's a challenge for me. and I'm prepared for anything like that. I've done it all season with likes of John Allen, Boomsong, Titus, Andy O'Brien. It's been hard for me anyway, but yeah, I know it's going to be difficult, the signings and all that, but we're just going to make me work harder and want it a hell of a lot more.
If we could bring some success to Newcastle, you know, I think we'll be all legends around here, you know. Yeah, it's been the motivation since I first came, you know, 8 years ago, and nothing changes, you know. I'm desperate to win a trophy, and I really hope it's, you know, at Newcastle.
Well, I have the title of player coach. I mean, that's the next. I'm taking my coaching badges, or I've started taking my coaching badges. I've passed my UEFA B licence, and the next step is to take my A licence, which this title will help me with doing that.
Jackie's record, of course, is on the horizon for you.
Yeah, I think I've got 8 to equal it, and obviously 9 to beat it. So it would be great if I can go past it, because I know what a hero and a legend he is up here, and rightly so, because of what he achieved and what he done for the football club. So if I can get near it, or if I can go past it, then I'd be delighted.
I understand that this is an enormous football club. I understand that whoever gets this right, and somebody will get it right, and I believe I'll get it right, but whoever gets this right will then be rewarded with managing one of the best football clubs in the world.